This is not some soulless factory. This is long, quiet days with the Father. This is obedience. This is cold, early mornings, tired, rough hands, and hot summer days. This is quality before quantity. This is where you're not just a customer, you're a client. I don't just work for you, but with you. This is where your ideas come to life. I am Joshua Watts. I love what I do and that I'm able to use my skills to serve our Father and you. I look forward to working with you. This is Joshua Watts Leather Company.
We all need good tools. At Cascadia Cutlery, you'll find the most quality knives you'll ever need. There are few things more frustrating than a dull blade. Buy the best knife you can afford and then actually carry it at CascadiaCutlery.com.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance, declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com. And welcome everybody to the Nightly News with Dan Bidondi. Today's Thursday, February 24th, 2022 edition of the Nightly News right here on TruthRadioShow.com. So guys, I apologize about yesterday. Had to postpone today because I had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of spiritual problems I'm dealing with, and also family problems. So crazy stuff, man, I tell you. But I don't want to give you guys a drama. So I want to thank ShakeandWakeRadio.com and BeforeIt'sNews.com for carrying the show. Thank you guys so much. And today's broadcast, Nazis versus Communists in Rhode Island. We're going to get to that in a little while. Russia enters Ukraine, and yeah, all hell's breaking loose. The new age infiltration of the truth movement and news. So it's unbelievable. And things are just going crazy everywhere. And at the end of the show, we're going to talk about UFOs, what the Bible has to say about them too, because that's next. I mean, there's tons of UFO sightings mysteriously. Again, tons of UFO sightings everywhere. If you go through the news and all that, of course, the United States media will never report these things or quickly dismiss them. But yeah, this stuff's going crazy, man, I tell you. And it's right in line with the scripture. It really is. It's really nuts. So this Friday, confirmed, tomorrow night, we got Jocelyn, that's the name she's going to go by, the former Mormon. Well, she called into the show about a month ago. Anyway, she's going to come on the show tomorrow night. It's going to be on this channel here, 1 a.m. Eastern, going into Saturday. So it's late Friday night going to Saturday, you get the point. So Mormonism, SRA, and the secret occult tunnels exposed from within. This is going to be an awesome show. I've been looking forward to the show since the woman called in. Her and her husband both, they just been gathering information from me and everything else. And so they're going to be on tomorrow. And most likely there's going to be a part 2. And also, Julia Robertson, who was on this past Friday, she's going to be coming on within a couple weeks, back on again. So everybody loved it, too. It was a really awesome show. She's Julia Thompson. I keep saying Julia Roberts. That's the actor. I don't know why, for the life of me, I can't get her name right. Julia Thompson, okay? She's going to be coming back on in a few weeks. And I think next time, Julia, I apologize. If I call you Julia Robertson one more time, you need to smack me across the head. But Julia Thompson, all right? She's coming back on in a couple weeks, and it's going to be awesome. So just continue where you left off. Just talk about spiritual warfare and all that good stuff. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, let's just get into this news here because we've got a lot today, let's just say. So I want to address something first before we go any further. This is upsetting. It really is. Especially coming from this guy here, Greg Reese from Infowars.com. And I have nothing but respect for the man. But however, because he comes out with a lot of good Christian videos. He really does. And we play him all the time on the show. But this really shocked me. It really did. And it's heartbreaking. It really is. Because he's preaching New Age garbage. I'm going to put it that way. God bless the man and everything else, but man, Greg Reese, if you could somehow hear this, okay, or somebody that knows him, let him know. You need to get out of this crap. You know what I mean? If you claim to be a Christian and followed by the gospel, you need to get out of this crap. Okay, this is danger. Okay, spiritual danger. Call me, man, and the guy's at Info has got my number. Call me, plain and simple. I need to talk to you, man, because this is bad. And I'm going to show you a couple articles. First of all, them promoting, this is not all Greg Reese here, but this is, Mr. Owens there. Owen Schroyer, promoting this here, saying that the rare astrological phenomenon gives hope that planetary tyranny is ending and a rebirth of freedom is beginning. So basically promoting this New Age garbage. That's exactly what it is. And, it aligns with Greg Reese's video as well. 2/22/2022. That was 2 days ago. So this is the video here from Greg Reese. Pluto's return and the rebirth of individual freedom. So he's trying to link this with 1776. And I'm going to play a little bit, skim through it.
I don't care where you get your vitamin D3, but you need vitamin D3. It is essential. It is critical to your immune system.
That's crazy, but yeah. So this is the video. I'm going to play a little here.
However you may feel about astrology, it was the original science from which all other sciences were born out of. And although today's pop culture paints it as pseudoscience, occult traditions see it as sacred knowledge. While it is a great mystery,
yes,
it is
occult traditions, occult, not biblical. And hang on, let me get to this here, and I just have to point this out because I want to dissect here, and hope Greg could watch this here. So Genesis chapter 1 talks about bring forth a good. Let me see, signs. I forgot exactly what it is in Genesis chapter 1, whatever, but it talks about the signs, with the stars and everything, that for signs of seasons and prophecies. That's what they are for. And I should have pre-dug this up ahead of time, but yeah, that's what they are for. Signs for seasons, stars. Okay, that's Genesis chapter 1. So, verse 14. So, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. All right, this is not to be confused with occult astrology. There's biblical astrology and there's occultic astrology. So please don't confuse these two.
is as predictable as mathematics and experiential for everyone. And today, astrologically speaking, is a very interesting day for America and individual freedom worldwide. Today is 2/22/2022, the first time Pluto is conjunct to the United States since July 4th, 1776. A 248-year event known as Pluto's return. Every time a planet returns to the same degree it was in
see this chart right there? That's an occultic. That's occultic astrology. So then, and here's the thing too, what Greg doesn't understand. They put a lot of false stuff in these occultic. They try to fit things that don't belong. That's what
relation to your location of birth, you experience a return. Many of us can personally understand the idea of Saturn's return. It takes Saturn about 29 years to orbit the sun. And so it happens roughly around your 29th birthday.
And I'm not going to get into it, but that's not biblical astrology. That's not the way God created the universe. So, I believe in biblical astrology, not, this man's astrology.
Because Saturn symbolizes severity and discipline, this time is known as an era of learning through harsh reality for those who haven't already mastered self-discipline. Pluto symbolizes destruction and rebirth, and so Pluto's return, which lasts about 2 years, is considered to be a time of destruction and rebirth. During the Roman Empire's first Pluto's return, the Severan dynasty collapsed, a time known as the crisis of the 3rd century. And their second Pluto return took place 10 years before the end of the Roman Empire.
And mind you, some of the stuff is the dates are true, whatever, but some of the stuff is configured, purposely put in places to make it look like something that it's not. You know what I mean? So I just want to point this stuff out.
And now America's first Pluto's return on 2/22/2022. 2 times 2 times 2 times 222 equals 1776. It begins on a Tuesday, and it lasts 2 years. Perhaps you dismiss all this as pseudoscience woo-woo, but it is important to know that the occultists who sway the governments of the world do not. They take this sort of thing very seriously.
And he's right about that. This is their language. They take this stuff seriously, but this is not biblical. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of lies within that occultic astrology. So,
which could explain why they all seem to be in such a frantic hurry. More than America, July 4th, 1776 symbolizes individual freedom. And so, astrologically speaking, the next 2 years will mark either the destruction or rebirth of these individual freedoms that were born in 1776.
So let me ask a question here. So this next 2 years, right? Show me in here where it says this stuff, please. No, that's occultic bullcrap. That's what that is. That's not biblical, and it's certainly not true. The thing is, the same people who do this, they made the Zeitgeist movie to try to say that all these people came along, like Osiris, Jesus, and all that, all fit the same astrological chart. They were all born in December and all that. Jesus wasn't born in December. You know what I mean? And they even lie about other people that weren't even born on the same dates. And what they do is they try to put the people in categories to make it fit their version. And remember, this is not biblical astrology, because there's astronomy and astrology, right? And there's biblical astronomy and occultic astronomy. There's biblical astrology and occultic astrology, okay? Anything occultic is not biblical. It's complete false, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of truth in it, absolutely. But they configure that, they mix it in a pot with a bunch of bullcrap. That's what it is. So I wouldn't buy this at all. God doesn't use numerology and all that. Yes, the occult do. That's what the world communicates. The world elite, they communicate with this stuff. But again, it's according to God's timing. They could do whatever, it doesn't matter what dates they put, say, well, on this astrological date, we're going to do this. If God says no, it's not going to happen. Doesn't matter how much money you spend, how many people involved, it's not going to happen. That's what he failed to tell people. And here's the thing, too. Where is Jesus involved with this? This whole, huge wake-up thing they got going on, this new website they're promoting. Where's Jesus Christ involved with this? No mention at all of Jesus, except for, cosmic awakening, all this New Age garbage that we need to harness our godlike powers and tap into the universe and change reality with our frequencies. That is all New Age bullcrap. That's all that is. Bull snot, plain and simple. You know what I mean? And it's sickening how they're merging the stuff into Christianity. They already done that. Merging the stuff into the whole right-wing movement now. And it's all over the place. I mean, that Reawakening tour that's going on all over the country. Yeah, okay, it's waking some people up, but the thing is, they're bringing people into the New Age area. The far left people pure to Luciferianism, and the people on the right now are just bringing you to the longer path to the same place where the left are going. And the left is just a direct path to hell. The right wing is just a longer path, the scenery changing, and, it's all deceptive, right to the same place is where the left go. That's all it is. That's why I'm always strongly against the right and the left now. Both are ridiculous. And speaking of right and left, we get to it later, the communism and the Nazism. Yeah, Nazism is it's a right-wing path to the New World Order. And the communism is a left-wing path to the New World Order. Two different areas going to the same place. That's exactly what all this is about. It goes into politics, it goes into religion, the occult, and everything else. It all goes to the same place of hell. This here, guys, is not a right-wing or left-wing thing. This is that straight and narrow way, the Bible. And this is all occult. And Greg, you need to chill out with this stuff, man. This is all cultic garbage, all New Age garbage, and it's and unfortunately, it's taking over InfoWars almost. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking, and the David Icke bullcrap, that's what it is. New Age guru garbage, you know what I mean? It's got to stop. Yeah, I mean, nobody ever mentions Jesus Christ no more. I've been watching all these videos and everything else, and the whole website about I forgot their website they got going on. Oh man, but yeah, it's all New Age garbage. That's what I wrote on here. God approves what? No, he doesn't. Let me get to that later. No, he doesn't. You better go back and read the Bible. God doesn't approve planetary alignments because simply it's not the way they think it is, you know what I mean? So anyway, guys, I'm going to switch you guys here because I'll be on this all night. I could do a whole show on this stuff, and I'm going to do it. I am. I'm going to do another New Age show, and me and Trey Harris again. We can't do enough of these things because it's all over the place. It's sickening, you know. And the whole, Trump movement now is nothing to do with Christian at all, man. And I learned that the hard way myself. And they got people like Paula White and all these pastors and all that. They're all New Age, all promoting the world government, but their way. And people don't understand this. It's like you got Biden out there. Biden is a direct path to hell. That's exactly what it is to the New World Order. There's two versions of the New World Order. It's the same New World Order, but it's two ways they're pushing it. The right wing's pushing the New World Order too. Don't let them kid you. Oh, yeah, they support gun rights. Yeah, they support not killing babies. Absolutely. But in the left don't, you know what I mean? But the things that they lack, the left are better. You know what I mean? They do that purpose. It's equally leveled out. So what they're bad at, they're good at. What they're good at, they're bad at. You know what I mean? And vice versa. You know what I mean? So they do that purposely, okay? But it's two different teams, two different philosophies going to the same New World Order. Like communism, there's no difference between communism and Nazism and socialism. It's all from the same root, literally. It's all, imagine a tree, if you will, right? It comes from the same tree, so from the same root. It's just different branches, okay? That's all they are. And if you follow the branches to the roots, it goes right to the same tree, plain and simple, if that makes any sense out there. Oh, man. So it's, stay on a narrow path. Don't be a puppet, says that. Exactly. Stay on a narrow path. And, it's so hard to do that, man. It really is. And you got bashed by both sides, man. And, the left bash, I got to admit, the left, they trash you more than anybody. They really do. They're more evil and maniacal than the right. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the far left, far right. It's like, but the far right does paint a fake smile on their faces. So, anyway, you got the study here reveals fish may be self-aware. So, of 18 fish, 17 responded to the visual cue of a mark on their body when they presented with the mirror during the study. So, a new study suggests that fish may be self-aware and able to recognize themselves in mirrors in a similar way to human beings and apes. And researchers at Graduate School of Science and Osaka City University conducted the work across a number of years exploring the capability of fish to achieve mirror self-recognition. So, imagine that sitting there for years playing with mirrors and fish. Millions of dollars going to the university and we're playing with mirrors and fish. 2 years, Imagine how boring that thing must be. But anyway, the experiment working by administering the anesthetic to fish, placed an artificial brown mark on its body and resemble a parasite, and providing a mirror to see if the animal tries to touch or remove the spot. So this is, years of study to see. I'm not saying it's a bad dang bang, but come on. You know what I mean? To see if fish are self-aware. Okay. Whatever. So you got this coward here. Leah Thompson sets 5 world records, honored as high point swimmer at Ivy League championships. So this boy, all right. So anyway, University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thompson, a male who used to go by Will, that's his name, William, but now claims to be transgender identity and competes on women's teams, clinched the title of High Point Swimmer of the Meet in Ivy League Swimming and Diving Championship over the weekend. So Thomas won 3 races, 100, 200, and 500-yard freestyles, and set 5 individual records. And Thomas also helped Penn's 400 relay team to set a pool record. So, yeah, so this coward, because he can't compete with other boys, so what does he decide to do? Yeah, I'm going to be a transgender, and I'm going to join the women's team, and I'm going to crush all the women. How could you stand on a podium feeling like a winner? I tell you one thing, if I was a father of one of the girls competing, oh man, on that podium award ceremony, yeah, I'd be trashing the hell out of them. You know what I mean? And it's sickening, it really is. Then some people actually call these people heroes. Oh, you're a hero because you could go beat up a woman? Because you can't compete with other boys, so you got to join the girls' team to feel like a winner. You're not a winner, okay? You're certainly not a hero. You're a coward, plain and simple. A coward with a capital C. Sickening, man. And you got Democrat privilege. A congressional candidate attacks a 12-year-old with racist slurs, vomits, and hamper, and still hasn't dropped out. But yet, you got somebody, congressional candidate will come out and say, you know what? We need to support free speech or something like that. Boom. Well, you're out. Anyway, Abby Broyles denied slumber party incident even took place, calling it a political attack, and the apologies, even after the incident emerges, showing that she lied. So Broyles, she looks like a boil, not a broil, called somebody acne-free or whatever, somebody has... I don't know what the hell is that saying, but yeah, Oklahoma Democrat congressional candidate Abby Broyles is refusing to drop out of the 2022 midterm race after parents accuse her of berating a group of tween girls, whatever, with cruel and racially charged slurs while heavily intoxicated at the slumber party.
A candidate for Oklahoma's congressional 5th district is at the center of a controversy. According to news outlet nondoc.com, parents of a group of 12 and 13-year-old girls accuse Abby Broyles of getting drunk and berating their children. Non-Doc's report says it happened at a Valentine's Day weekend sleepover. The publication cites multiple accounts saying Broyles cursed at the children, calling them names, and vomited into a laundry basket. We reached out to Broyles' campaign, but have yet to hear back.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Yeah, that's how they typically act, the progressives. And you got here, a Tennessee woman had sex with 9 high school students in exchange for vape pens. I don't know why the picture's not showing up, but yeah. This lady here. So residents of small town, Tennessee town, are shaken up after a woman was indicted for having sex with at least 9 local high school students in exchange for vape pens, the report said. And this is Melissa Blair, 38 years old, was arrested on Tuesday and charged with 18 counts of statutory rape, for 4 counts of human trafficking by patronizing prostitution, solicitation of minor, and forfeiting of personal property. And there was at least 9 male victims while the incident occurred from spring 2001 to late 2000. Yeah, 2000 to 2001. And it was McKinn Central High School in the town of Englewood. Unreal, man. For vape pens, I don't know. She's an adult. She can't go buy vape. I don't know. Unless she's getting the kids' vape pens. I can't see anything with all these darn pop-ups. But yeah. Hang on, guys. I mean, this ad to go through. That's crazy, man. It really is. So what was she doing? Bribing them with vape pens? It's like, hey, come here. I'll get you a vape pen. Yeah, you want to get high or something? You want to get your fix? I'll get you a vape pen if you come sleep with me. Unbelievable. Oh, this is not even it. Yeah, so you get the point anyway. It's, all this stuff going on is crazy, man. And according to McQuinn, County Sheriff Joe Guy, what a name that is, huh, Joe Guy? There are at least 9 confirmed male victims with incidents occurring 2000 to 2001 among students, McVin Central High School in the town of Inglewood, and parents told the news here that Blair reached out to her victims, of all whom were ages 14 to 17, and offered them items, vape pens, for exchange for sex. Now, yeah, you know, when like a boys in his adolescent years, young teens, I don't think they would have to be offered a vape pen to have sex with them. You know what I mean? And yeah, but regardless, it's crazy. So this girl was like literally whoring around, literally, you know what I mean, and say, oh, I'll give you a vape pen if you come vape me. Don't make them make a joke about it, but yeah, it's crazy. What the hell's wrong with these people? And here in Rhode Island, this happened the other day. Police, neo-Nazis interrupt book reading at Providence Library. This caused a big stir. So, police are investigating a group of neo-Nazis interrupted a community reading at the Providence Library Monday night. An officer responded to the Red Ink Community Library on Camp Street and said that the group of 15 to 20 people were standing outside and hitting the windows with their hands. And we also seen people carrying swastika flags, according to Mayor Georgia Laza. And he goes, Providence is home to diverse people, cultures, and ideas. In our city has no room for hate-filled actions meant to intimidate for cause of fear. So they made a big issue over this. They made a huge issue over this, right? And now, yeah, I don't condone Nazism either. I don't. But the sad and stupid part of this whole thing, quickly disregard that the point they were in there reading the Communist Manifesto. Oh, there it is. Yeah, hang on a second. This is fake news of Rhode Island, Channel 12.
Last night after police say a neo-Nazi group interfered.
The Reading Community Library was holding a reading to mark the anniversary of the Communist Manifesto when police say a neo-Nazi group interrupted from outside the library's window. 12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie.
See, not the point that they were reading the Communist Manifesto. Now, what is it? You know, here's the thing, right? In respect to both groups, right, it is their right to read the Communist Manifesto, even though it stands everything against this country, its foundation, and everything about it, right? And I don't agree with the Nazis either, but they were outside peacefully protesting. First Amendment, both of them, right? So isn't it amazing because you got, again, we're talking about two different ideologies that go to the same place. The Nazis want a new world order. The communists want a new world order. Both of them are the same. They come from the same tree, literally. Two branches of the same tree. Two different ideologies.
Leslie has been tracking this story all day long. She joins us now live in studio with how the library and other community groups are reacting. Alex?
Well, Mike and Shannon, police say the group of anywhere from about 15 to 20 people were outside that Mount Hope library, hitting the windows with their hands and yelling obscenities to the people inside. It could all be heard from the library's live stream.
But they didn't say nothing when Black Lives Matter. We're hitting the windows with bricks and lighting things on fire. But yeah.
This reading as well. Who Providence police are calling a neo-Nazi group were captured on camera outside the Reading Community Library holding what appeared to be a swastika flag or sign.
That many people trying to disrupt a meeting of maybe 6 or 7 in a small space would be alarming. When they're specifically waving flags with the SS Nazi insignia on it, that indicates that they have much more.
All right, so waving flags with communist sickles on them, that's any better? And I'll get to this in a minute.
Or nefarious violent intentions.
Police say when officers arrived on scene, the crowd outside began to disperse and left the area.
And make no mistake, it was a terrifying event. It was brutal.
No terrifying than when you people burn half the city down. Yeah, more terrifying than that.
And very, very difficult.
David Relino of Reading Community Library says a reading celebrating the Communist Manifesto was taking place inside in honor of Red Books Day, which celebrates leftist books and their authors.
To have the kind of disruption that we did is galling and despicable.
Black Lives Matter Rhode Island PAC's executive director denounced the group he considers to be domestic terrorists.
And they are...
Oh, because you're not? Oh, I'm sorry, Black Lives Matter, because you're not domestic terrorists because when you kill cops, burn places down, destroy half the country last year, yeah, you're not terrorists?
A threat not only in Providence, but everywhere across the state and in America. And it's really important that Rhode Island comes together and stays and says that no to Nazism, no to right-wing ideology that really centers hate and bigotry and white supremacy in our state.
And you center hate, bigotry, and black supremacy. So yeah, what's the difference? What's the difference between Black Lives Matter and these leftists and these far rightists? You know what I mean? Yeah, the KKK symbolize hate, bigotry, white supremacy, but you people, you symbolize hate, bigotry, and black supremacy. So what's the difference? Then the communists that were in that little library there, they symbolize hate, bigotry, and a communist way. So you see what's going on here, guys? Nazis, communism, socialism, Marxism is all from the same damn tree, literally. It's different forms of ideology that push the same thing called a New World Order. And all of these things, all of them have killed millions of innocent people over the years. All these have destroyed countries, economies, freedoms, liberties, and all that. All of it. But yeah, you sound like you're a victim. Oh, look at this guy from Black Lives Matter. You're a victim. Oh, but you were a victim last year when you were destroying Providence Place Mall, setting police cars on fire, destroying businesses downtown. You were a victim then, right? Because another group showed up. And they did only half the stuff we did.
Governor Dan McKee and Providence Mayor Jorge Elorza posted statements on Twitter condemning the acts made by the group, urging anyone with information to contact Providence police.
Jorge Elorza is the mayor of Providence. That guy's a slumlord, complete socialist too. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, it really is. And they just all these people, I see them all over Twitter and everything, right? Completely overriding the fact that they're reading the Communist Manifesto, which is their right to do. But the Communist Manifesto preaches everything against what the Constitution stands for. Marxism, that's what it is. Marxism hates anything to do with God. They hate the traditional family. They hate freedoms and liberty. That's what they hate. Nazism is the same thing, but in a different way. Both ideologies don't like you having freedoms. They want you to believe the state is God. The state tells you what to do and how to do it. Plain and simple. But they present it in different ways. And it leads to the same destructive end. Unreal, man. It really is. It's you know what I mean? And it's so baffling that, all right, you got a group of Nazis outside waving flags around. All right, none of us agree with those flags. Absolutely none of us don't agree with those flags. However, it's okay to wave your Black Lives Matter flag. It's racist. And it's okay to wave your communist flag with the hammer and sickle that's killed more people than the Nazis did. Oh yeah, but that's hate, right? No, you're all hate. Oh, I find him racist because he's waving that Nazi flag around, that evil swastika. But it's okay for me to wave my hammer and sickle flag around. That wants to destroy everything this country stands for. That wants to push socialism and destroy the traditional family and just burn every church we see down. But that's okay. Yeah. Wow. That's what I have to say. And these officials making a big deal about that. And it is a big deal, but what about the other side? The same people from that library, that whole area, right? It's full of, they got Antifa and all that. All of them are part of the same groups, Black Lives Matter and all that. And they're the ones burning cities down and everything. But yeah, it's our First Amendment to do that, which is not, it's peacefully protest, not protesting. You know what I mean? With violence, peacefully protesting. That's what your First Amendment is. And you got half the dumb politicians says, well, I don't see anywhere it says peaceful. And it's like, well, if you want me to read it to you, First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to get more. I'll try to get some more information about that. Unreal, man. Oh, yeah. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. I can't come up with words to explain this. It's like, yeah, look what they're doing. They're waving flags around. But we were the ones who destroyed downtown Providence 2 years ago. We were the ones. But, let's get mad at the Nazis over there because they're waving flags around. And that's such a hate crime to wave a Nazi flag around. But it's not a hate crime to wave our communist hammer and sickle flags around. That's just the same evil. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, it's like saying, who would I choose? Joseph Stalin or Adolf Hitler? They admire like Joseph Stalin, Karl Marx, and all that. Well, yeah, Adolf Hitler's an evil man, and the other side says the opposite. That like, and these idiots don't even realize that all these same people are on the same damn New World Order boat, promoting the same damn thing, but in a different philosophy way. It's unreal. It boggles my mind. They're all these hate groups and products and all that. They're all hate groups. Yeah, it just blows my mind. It really does. And yeah, it's okay to burn a city down, but you can't wave a Nazi flag around, which I don't condone either. But it is their right to do that. We have a First Amendment, as long as they're peacefully doing it. Much as I can't stand it, don't like it, but it is their right to do that. So don't call one side of hate when you're full of hate yourself. Plain and simple. I guess switch guys. I'm sorry. So onto the Canadian stuff going on. Canadian MP, which is like a governor of, it's a premier, they call it. It's a governor of the province. But anyway, Canadian MP details how struggling single mothers' bank account has been frozen by the Trudeau regime. So Canadian MP Mark Sharrell, related to a single mother in his district, has had her bank account totally frozen by Trudeau regime after she completely legally donated $50 to the Trucker Freedom Convoy. And she's a single mom from Chilliwack working with the minimum wage job, and she gave $50 to the convoy when it was 100% illegal. And she didn't participate in this in any other way, and her bank account has now been frozen. And, we talked about this over the week and last week. Justin Trudeau's Emergency Act orders, this is what it's from. She just gave $50 and, didn't take part of the protest, which is her right to do so if she wanted to. But they froze her bank account. Yeah, that's unreal. Really is. A single mother. So froze her bank account because she dared to give $50 to a fully legal constitutional candidate to a fully constitutional movement. It's peaceful. But yeah, I'm sorry, Justin Trudeau. Where were the account seizures, of Black Lives Matter and Antifa when they were burning half of Canada down too? Where were that? Oh, we can't do that because that's racist. But let's stand up for something real, and let me ask you too. Name one city or store that's been burned down since this trucker movement. None. You don't see no violence in this. The only violence you see is your dog cops attacking innocent people. But if they're Black Lives Matter and Antifa, UMB sees enough and you'd be like, it's their right, let them do what they want. See how everything's so backwards, man? It's not even funny. Man, every time I see this stuff, it just goes right to the scripture, man. When God says, woe to those who call evil good and woe, to those who call good evil. You know what I mean? Sickening. Really is. And it's so backwards, man. It's not even funny. Same thing here in America. You wave a couple flags around in D.C. Oh, you're a terrorist, but burn the cities down. Yeah, we got your back for your First Amendment. You can't make this stuff up, man. I tell you. No, you can't. You got sick here. Ottawa police assault woman for trying to buy a cup of coffee, threatened to smash cafe windows. The tolerant dogs assault a woman for walking in the wrong area. And coffee shop threatened by officers for serving locals and protesters. So the cops walk around telling people what to do. Oh, you can't serve them. It's none of your business. It's not you don't have the power or jurisdiction to tell business who they can and can't serve. And footage going viral online shows police officers in downtown Ottawa, Canada, pushing a woman around for daring to film them as they prevented her from walking down the street to get a cup of coffee. So these communist thugs, call police in Canada, and the people should rise up, man. Oh, man, you have no idea. These people should rise up and put these SOBs in their own handcuffs. Rip those stupid face diapers off them and shove them down their throats. Put them in their own handcuffs.
I just want to get a coffee, okay?
Why is the camera in my face right now? Are you here partaking?
You walked
right
up
now.
to
You're
me.
in the red zone.
I'm scared. I want to go for a coffee down there.
Okay.
Can I go for a coffee?
Still being arrested right now.
Do you live in this?
You're not excluded
here,
from that.
But I'm
Where do you live?
Alberta.
Time for you to leave.
I can't even go down there for coffee.
No, go grab your stuff and leave. You're in the red
leave.
zone right now. If you don't leave right now, you will be arrested. Do you understand me?
I can't go for a coffee.
Grab your stuff, because if we see you, we'll be patrolling all day. If we see you again, it'll be different.
Leave. I tell you, take your camera and get out of here. Do you understand that?
I'm walking away.
Walk away. Your phone doesn't need to be in our face when you're walking away. Go.
Please have my phone.
Are you going to walk,
Yes,
or are you going to get arrested?
I was
Go
walking
now.
away.
Get out of here.
Oh my goodness. Hope you can go to sleep at night.
Wow. Wow. Communist thugs. That's what's going on here. Back to blue my ass. Excuse my language, man. And yeah, they should shove it right up their rear ends, plain and simple. And I have respect for police officers, I do, and good police officers, okay? Not these communist thugs. These scumbags, yeah. Oh, you can't be on my sidewalk. It's not your sidewalk, scumbag. It's the taxpayers. Violating the Canadian Constitution, assaulting that person. Just grabbing that camera is assault. Unreal, man. This is what's going on in Canada. Of course, the news won't show you that. And you got a video here. Canadian MP claims honk honk, an acronym for Hail Hitler. So people honking in support for the rally now. She's saying, oh, it means Hail Hitler. What? And again, this oh man, this ties into this whole Providence library thing, too. Nazis and communists. So these people are pure communists, right? They can't stand Nazism. Same thing in Canada, yeah. They're racist because when you honk the horn, because it means Hail Hitler. That's what she's saying. An unhinged leftist reaching for anything she can grab to smear the Freedom Convoy as white supremacists. What the hell does the Freedom Convoy have anything to do with? See what the insanity? And I hate to tell people too, yeah, communists are more racist than anybody. A Canadian member of the parliament made a fool of herself on Monday by claiming that Hong Kong is actually an acronym for Hail Hitler. And it's a Liberal Party MP, Yara Sachs, made this ridiculous remarks during the House of Commons proceedings on Thursday while arguing in support of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's invocation of the Emergencies Act. And she goes, as a Jewish member of the Parliament and descendant of survivors of the Holocaust as well, I, like many Canadians, was shocked to see Nazi and Confederate flags. There were no Nazi flags. None. I was shocked to see Nazi and Confederate flags, and I was dismayed and angered by the hurt and horrible, she says. And they asked her, so how many Nazi flags does it take? How many donors the Capitol riot? Well, that's just what I was saying. 1,100 account who have donated to these illegal blockades. There were no Nazi flags, you dumb twit.
Questions et commentaires. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Families, Children and Social Development.
Colleague on the other side of the floor. And so I have a few questions. As a Jewish member of Parliament myself and a descendant of survivors of the Holocaust as well.
Oh, bite me.
I, like many Canadians, were shocked to see Nazi flags, Confederate flags.
You didn't see no
dismayed
Nazi
and angry flags. And hurt.
In Canada?
Horribly hurt. So how many Nazi flags does it take? How many donors from the Capitol riots, it's 1,100 and counting, who have donated to these illegal blockades? How many guns need to be seized?
How many guns? Oh yeah, because was there one shooting in this? No. There were no Nazi. What would Confederate flags be doing in Canada? Makes no damn sense.
How much vitriol do we have to see of honk honk, which is an acronym for Hail Hitler, do we need to see by these protesters on social media? Mm-hmm. How many times do we have to see clear indicators that what is out there is not about the hard 2 years that every Canadian has suffered? Mm-hmm. But is it about something much deeper and darker and uglier that is threatening the stability of this House?
Oh, it's threatening you. Yeah, it's threatening you people, all right. It's threatening the tyranny of you people. What a twit! I can't listen to her anymore. Yeah, I mean, people tweeting, but this isn't disinformation. Yeah, and that's what they do. They do that here in Rhode Island too when it comes up to gun rights and stuff. Somebody will come up, I'm a Jew, and when it's nothing like that. Because real Jews would support rights. You know what I mean? Like, these people are idiots, and they do that to win the emotional support. They do everything they do is off emotions. That's it. Going there, I'm a survivor of the family. No, you're not. Go get bent, lady. Seriously. I mean, I wish I was in that parliament. I mean, I'd tell her right where to go, man. I tell you. But you go pick up your crocodile tears and get the hell out of here. Seriously. So dumb, man. I tell you. These people are the definition of retards. Okay, it's not a mental person no more. It's these people, yeah. And you got Ottawa mayor proposes to sell confiscated Freedom Convoy trucks. So, because Ottawa, they stole all these people's trucks. Now wants to sell them. So claims Trudeau's emergency powers could give them authority to do so. Just go up and steal your truck. Well, you're protesting. How dare you violate even though we're violating the Constitution by stopping you from protesting. But we're going to take your truck and we're going to sell it. That's grand theft. So Ottawa police put an end to the Freedom Convoy protests in downtown district at the last 3 weeks, and on Friday and Saturday, officers arrested demonstrators and seized their vehicles. And now the mayor, Jim Watson, wants to sell the seized trucks and campers to recoup millions of dollars they lost during the 3 weeks of gridlock. So, wow, they just destroyed your freedom of speech in Canada, and now they took your property, and they want to sell it. Unfreaking believable.
What do you make of how far the police have managed to get today?
Well, they've done a remarkable job both last night and today. As you pointed out, they've got Wellington Street cleaned up. Most of the trucks have been towed away. And I now just got word that the Sir Johnny Macdonald Parkway, most of the trucks are removed from that section in the west end of the city as well. So they've made a lot of progress. They've been very measured in the response. It's a really tough assignment for police officers getting yelled at and spat upon, but they have been calm and cool and collective. We owe a debt of gratitude to all those municipal forces that have come in from across Canada, disrupted our city. You've heard our small business community. And this is costing a small fortune for the taxpayers of Ottawa. And that's one of the reasons why, under the Emergency Act, I've asked our solicitor and our city manager, how can we keep the tow trucks and the campers and the vans and everything else that we've confiscated and sell those pieces of equipment to help recoup some of the costs that our taxpayers are absorbing. So that's one of the provisions of the Emergency Act. And we have been a beneficiary of the Emergency Act. As they debated on the Hill, I asked the members of Parliament to consider. It's helped us a lot on things like confiscating vehicles, not having to swear in peace officers to the RCMP, and so many other things that have been very helpful over the course of this period, including you can't be under 18 and be in this rally. It's just unbelievable. We get copycats and people will think, hey, I'm going down to Parliament Hill and parking there for 3 or 4 days and having a pig roast and everything else under the sun. We have to prevent that. We need a short-term plan to blockade Wellington, a longer-term plan on how we protect our residents much better than we have in the last 4 weeks.
Unreal. Yeah, we're going to seize your trucks, and for exercising your constitutional rights, then we're going to sell them. Because we need to pay our Nazi police officers to go stomp their boots in your face. So it was in America, we're supposed to have a D.C. National Truck protest. So D.C. National Guard is scrambling to secure tow trucks in Freedom Convoy descents. So Biden is likely planning to implement a Trudeau-style crackdown on peaceful anti-mandate protesters leading up to the State of the Union address. So the D.C. National Guard is ratcheting up preparations for forthcoming trucker protest set to begin Tuesday as a new group, roughly 1,000 truckers dubbed the People's Convoy, makes its way to the nation's capital to protest the mandates. So they're supposed to launch the 1st, I believe. Coming up, Tuesday on the 1st. I think it's Tuesday, whatever. But yeah, the 1st is supposed to launch to D.C. It's unbelievable, really is. And yeah, more than likely Biden's going to pull off something. But again, you look at this, right? It's just trucks. That's all they are. They're not causing no harm, but yeah, they didn't do any of this when Black Lives Matter were destroying the country. Canada and the United States. That's, what the truckers should do. This is what you should do, right? Tell them your Black Lives Matter Part 2. Go down there and just destroy D.C. You know what I mean? That's what they did. Same thing in Canada. Maybe you should start destroying the place. Burning places down. And maybe you should do that. Because that's the only kind of crap that these socialist governments acknowledge. What you should actually do is, never mind the truckers. Go down there and arrest these people with force. Arm the hell up. Go down and start arresting these people. That's what you need to do. That's where you get your authority from is this. The Declaration of Independence. That's where you get your authority from in the United States. And Canadians, you guys need to do the same thing. Protests ain't going to do nothing. You guys need to start taking action. Plain and simple. And even with that, man, it's sad to say because even with the truth movement, like I said, more than half are all into the New Age crap and the occult themselves. You know what I mean? So, and the thing is, like, the only thing that's going to stop this, okay? And you see people out there, they get these pictures of, the Batman light and it shows Trump's face. The world's calling on Trump. No. What about calling on Jesus Christ? Trump's not going to save this, okay? He had his chance 4 years ago, didn't do crap. Shows some peacetime and all that stuff. He brought a lot of peace, whatever, but that's it. He had the chance to drain the swamp. He made it worse. He didn't do nothing. He could have put Hillary in jail. She's still out. Biden should have went to jail, too. He's the president of the United States now. So don't be sitting there, we're going to hold out for 2 more years and get Trump in to save the day. No. Only person that's going to save the day is Jesus Christ. Bottom line. Not these right-wing and left-wing bullcrap garbage. I don't know. I'm just sick. I'm just sick about this altogether. So Rand Paul warns that Trudeau's Tyrannical Emergencies Act can be implemented in the United States. And we also have an emergency act in the United States that allows the president to shut down the internet. So Senator Rand Paul warned that the emergency powers being wielded by the Trudeau regime in an effort to crush the protests in Canada also exist in the United States and can be implemented at any time by the government. So, yeah, they do have this, and he has, I'll show you guys here. FEMA executive orders. These, over the years, several presidents added to this. Let me get to the list of it because this is a lot better. Hang on, guys. It's So basically, it gives FEMA, which is the United States government, also the power to do all this stuff, to seize stores, supermarkets, shut down highways, all that stuff. I wish I had the list here. I don't know why they're not coming up here. But yeah, this is all the executive orders here. You would have to click on each one to see it. This one here is related to the transfer of telecommunications, and by virtue of the authority vested in the Constitution and the laws of the United States, which is not. They say it gives the power of the government to do this stuff, which it doesn't. It's all anti-constitutional. So basically, under these executive orders, let me see if I can find a darn list of them, because it's sickening. Oh, here we go. So, These are the numbers here, and it's a seizure of all communications media in the United States. This is the government during any what they deem as an emergency or something like that. Seizure of all electric power, fuels, and minerals, public and private. So they could come onto your land, and you got a generator on your land. They could come on your land and seize your generator, all your natural resources, even though you own it. Seizure of all means of transportation, including personal cars, trucks, and vehicles of any kind, and total control of highways and seaports and waterways. So yeah, you can live on a farm, you got your own tractor. If they see fit, they'll come on your land, okay, and steal your tractor. You know what I mean? A boat too, in seizure of all airports and aircraft. Doesn't matter if they're private or not. This is crazy, man. This is what they already have put in place in the United States of America over the years. Several presidents have gone through, added to this list. And this gives these suspend the Constitution too, which is unconstitutional. They can't really do that, but yeah, they think they have the power too. You should see the list of the orders, man. They can seize supermarkets in your area, right, and also the food and supplies, and sit there and tell you what you can and can't buy. Literally, you're only allowed to buy one loaf of bread. That's it. Or even take control of that. It's horrible. I got to do another show on this. I keep saying I do, but let me write that down because I always forget. Because it's horrifying, it really is. What these people got in store. And speaking of the FEMA and all that, the camps they got going on, they got a good 1,000 or more camps across the United States, fully functional, ready to go, and they're built according to the population of the area. And they're ready to put people, American citizens, in these camps. They're called readiness centers. It's horrible. It's a grim reality, okay? And they're ready to lock this place down. And the only thing stopping it from happening is people with these. That's the only thing that we're not doing it for. Because 100 million Americans have these things. So, these pew-pews, okay? So, that's why they're pushing for gun control. Because they know there'll be a huge resistance. And also, if you read the strategic battle plans, they got a plan for that, too. That's why they're training UN troops and foreign troops in the FEMA readiness exercises. They have them once a year. They use foreign military troops. They bring into the United States here, in UN peacekeepers, bring here to the United States and train them for urban warfare to disarm the public, set up perimeters, set up checkpoints right in your own neighborhood. You know what I mean? All to take these. And they did a preempt during Hurricane Katrina, when they unconstitutionally went and seized people's guns in places that weren't even affected by the flood or the hurricane. This place is pure evil, guys. And and they're ready to put the hammer down. And the only thing, actually, I should rephrase that. The only thing that's preventing that is the hand of God. Number two is because Americans got these pew-pews. It's my little one. It's they call it a Derringer. It's Davis 22 Magnum. It's 2 shots. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's keep that for protection here. So one of the many, But anyway, yeah, that's what they got in store, guys. So yeah, so we're gonna go to a break, and this is horrible stuff. So we got quotes of the day brought to you by MidstateGuns.com, located in Coventry, Rhode Island. Rhode Island's largest indoor shooting range. And yeah, speaking of communism and everything, and how do you tell a communist? Well, someone who reads Lenin Marxism, basically. And how do you tell an anti-communist? As someone who understands Marx and Lenin. So all these people out there that read, the Communist Manifesto, that's someone who reads it, and tries to follow it. But people who really understand it and knows it's evil. And Karl Marx, this guy was another Albert Pike, okay, plain and simple. Very extremely evil person. He was into secret societies. He was into the occult, big time into the occult. Part of the Illuminati and everything else. Very extremely evil. And they call him a great philosopher. And all this, he was not a great philosopher. The guy was pure evil. And if you ever read the pollution, the toilet paper called the Communist Manifesto, yeah, it makes you sick to your stomach. It's like reading Albert Pike's Morals and Dogma almost, but in a political view. It ends the family. Okay, ends worship of God, literally, and that the God is state, the state is God. I'm sorry. It's horrible, it really is. I thought I had 2 quotes, my bad. So anyway, that's the quotes. So, and if you like the show, guys, I apologize. I usually have about 2 or 3 quotes, but yeah, if you like the show, guys, we got a PayPal, Venmo, and a CashApp. 3 different ways to support this operation. And those of you who've been doing that, thank you so much. And more than money is prayers, guys. Prayers for us, and because we've been getting massively attacked. And I'll bring that up Friday night, what's been going on. But yeah, it's crazy, man. So it's in the description, 3 ways to support this operation, and I thank you all so much who've been doing that. And you know, you can support it. Even number 1 is praying for us. Number 2 is like, sharing, subscribing, and just getting the information out there. It's more important than money. You know what I mean? Those 2 things. And number 3, if you got $1 or 2, yeah, drop $1 or 2 if you can, and it pays for the rent here. And we got a lot of expenses going on. You know what I mean? And it's just starting to get more expensive, you know what I mean? And with these people trying to shut us down, that's what's going on. We're getting viciously attacked here on our channels and everything. It's horrible. But yeah, if I was out there promoting socialism or something, I would have a verified channel with 100 million subscribers. Horrible, really is. So we got to go through the punches, guys, and all that. So we got a video here by Darren McBreen. It's Justin Trudeau declares himself dictator. We'll be right back.
I don't care where you get your vitamin D3, but you need vitamin D3. It is essential. It is critical to your immune system. If you don't...
Not far from here, such marches, even now, are being met with bullets.
As Jamie White writes, Australian police have been deploying directed energy weapons against the peaceful Freedom Convoy protesters around the capital.
All right, guys, Mrs. Cossack is feeling a bit under the weather, just like everyone here. People are feeling nauseous. People are feeling a bit of vertigo. That's the result of these police supersonic weapons.
It's amazing that they've got nearly, 750,000 people out here, and they cannot even send one person out to talk to us. Not even one person, you know. At least come out and hear what our views are. That's all we want to do, is have our views expressed.
What do you feel?
Just a bit of a headache. A big headache, yeah, for sure.
What about you, sir? How do you feel?
My ears.
You can feel it in your ears?
Yeah.
Disturbing videos and photos circulating social media show Canberra protesters, including women and children, who appear to have been badly burned by directed microwave energy weapons, with blisters on their faces, arms, and torsos. The use of directed energy weapons was thrown on the table as Australian senators grilled the Australia Federal Police Commissioner Rhys Kershaw.
Pictures of the day appear to show some types of devices at the front of Parliament House, in between the entry to Parliament and Parliament lawns, where the protest was in fact occurring. Can you confirm whether the AFP had long-range acoustic devices at Parliament House on Saturday?
That would be something that is our police methodology, which we would have to look at some sort of public interest immunity claim.
And I've been provided with this photograph, which I'm happy to table electronically, of course, from a distance. It does appear to show the deployment of an LRAD machine, a long-range acoustic device, I think it's called, which is a device designed to pitch sound at long range and can cause some pretty serious injuries. You can't confirm, even given that photo, that device was deployed on the day?
Senator Ranchik, I just want to interrupt here to make it clear that this question has already been taken on notice.
I understand that, but just with the benefit of having had that photograph, which tends to confirm it, we still can't confirm that device was there on the day?
Yeah, I think to be proper, I'd like to take that on notice.
In relation to yesterday's protest, can I say how absolutely disgusted I was? It broke my heart. Millions and millions of people across our state are doing the right thing. And it just broke my heart that people had such a disregard for their fellow citizens. I just ask everybody to think about that. Each of those people who protested illegally, I'm sure, have loved ones. They're going to go home and risk passing that virus on to their most closest people to them.
With what we saw in Sydney yesterday, of course it was selfish. It was also self-defeating. It achieves no purpose. It will not end the lockdown sooner. It will only risk the lockdowns running further. People understand there are frustrations with lockdowns, but that type of behaviour doesn't help anybody. Selfish behaviour doesn't help anybody. And so in a city under lockdown, to engage in that was reckless and it was selfish.
Even back in the United States, this weapon has caused chaos in the U.S. Capitol.
U.S. officials say there are now 130 suspected victims, mostly CIA operatives and U.S. diplomats being treated for brain injuries, debilitating headaches and vertigo, the targets they believe of a directed energy microwave weapon.
There's a mysterious direct energy weapon that is being used, and it is causing, in some cases, permanent traumatic brain injury.
New indications suggest the incidents go as far back as 1996. Two individuals working on the NSC believe they were targeted in 2019 and in 2020, just after the election.
The Australian pandemic Great Reset tyranny is raising the bar on human rights abuses, adding fuel to the fire of the inevitability of the coming Nuremberg Code correction. John Bound reporting.
If this is true, then our country is in a lot of trouble.
We would have these trips, these special trips.
But he said my daddy takes the bodies to the grocery store and he grinds them up and puts it in the hamburger. And nobody ever knows it.
How can kids 6, 8, 10 years old be describing rituals that come from a book like the Book of the Dead? It's hard to get your mind around people being capable of this kind of evil.
This is Dan Bidondi of TruthRadioShow.com. I am honored to offer my listeners a 1-month free subscription to nystv.org. Subscribers will have access to thousands of Now You See TV videos, from spiritual warfare to biblical and occultic topics, banned from YouTube videos, and much more. Subscribe today on nystv.org and use the promo code DANTheMan and receive your first month free. And welcome back, guys. And it's kind of crazy. I was just loading my articles up for the next show. It's like the Russia Today articles ain't popping up. It's weird. So anybody in the chat room there, if you're on a computer, open up another page and just type rt.com Russia Today and see if it's working. It's kind of weird that the website's down on my end anyway. It says it can't be reached, so that kills half the articles I was going to talk about today, with the whole Russia excursion here. So it's crazy, man. So I guess you're not allowed to go on Russia Today now? How is that possible? Oh, I'm sorry, because Russia Today is actually showing the truth that what's going on, and they don't want that. And so Russia just invaded Ukraine, and what it could mean for energy prices and global security and more. So I could answer that shortly without even reading the article, which I already read earlier. But yeah, they're going to misuse this. To say about the pipelines and all this other stuff, nothing to do at all with us and our energy at all. Nothing at all. Nothing. So they're gonna misuse this, to raise the gas prices and everything else in this country. And here in the United States, it's thousands of miles away from Russia. Oh well, not really, because the other way, whatever the case. But yeah, you get the point. It's a long way from Russia. It has nothing to do with us. And they're gonna use that to raise the gas prices. Unbelievable. So you got a shock. Before we get to the Russian news here, we'll get to some of this. Shock Tyler fires a gun at cops during arrest of father, police say. And it was a suspect was Sedette Johnson. They told a 4-year-old son to shoot officers, authorities say. So a 4-year-old child fired a gun at his father's after his father ordered him to during a confrontation arrest during a fast food restaurant in Utah, the authorities said. So police spoke to 27-year-old Sedette Johnson after they say he instructed his 4-year-old to shoot an officer outside the place there. So
when the crime scene tape goes up, it's almost always tied to something awful.
I've never seen anything like this in my 28 years in law enforcement.
Police say it all began with the car in the drive-thru.
So the driver of that vehicle was upset because the order wasn't what he ordered.
The workers tried to make it right.
At that time, we believe he brandished a firearm.
It was officers who were called to the parking lot to try to resolve the matter.
Knowing that he might be armed, they pulled him out of the vehicle as quickly as they could.
That's where the situation went sideways.
One of the officers noticed a firearm coming out the vehicle, and he was able to deflect it, but the firearm did go off and went into the awning here at the McDonald's.
And the shooter,
the person that pulled that trigger, was 4 years old.
The sheriff just can't believe it.
Just think the gravity of that. A 4-year-old was told, we believe, by the father to pull the trigger and shoot a police officer.
The officer who deflected the shot suffered only a minor injury in the scuffle.
He's a hero in my mind. He saved a life today.
It'll be many more days, a tall order to get over what.
Question is, are they McLovin' it now? So I guess a McBullet's better than those McNuggets. I guess in some cases those McNuggets more hotter than they kill more people than bullets do. So I don't know. That's kind of crazy story, but yeah, I thought that'd be interesting to talk about. So I guess they're McLovin' it now, aren't they? So Kyle Rittenhouse plans to sue Whoopi Goldberg, others for lying about him. So he's actually plans to sue LeBron James. LeBron James trashed the hell out of this kid. He really did, and he wants to sue the pants off LeBron James. I hope and pray that he does, and I hope and pray the courts side for Kyle Rittenhouse. So he wants to sue Whoopi Goldberg and others for lying about him. So, yeah, it's a long list, too. Not Fox. He wants to sue CNN, MSNBC, and they put this kid through the ringer. Made him look like a white supremacist, racist, and everything else, which he's not, you know. And Kenesha County jury ruled in November that Rittenhouse acted in self-defense when he was shot 3 people, killing 2 of them during the whole thing that took place, Black Lives Matter and all that, and Antifa just trying to destroy Kenesha. So anyway, Rittenhouse told Fox News he launched a media accountability project to take individuals to court, politicians, celebrities, athletes, Whoopi Goldberg, and on the list, she called me a murderer after I was acquitted by jurors of my peers. Rittenhouse said, I don't want to see anybody else have to deal with what I went through. And we all, we know what he went through. We've been covering the whole thing we covered here on the show here since day one. They put this poor kid through the ringer. Even after he was, acquitted, that he was in self-defense, they were still trashing him, calling him a racist, a murderer, this, that. They ridiculed this poor kid and dragged him through the mud. And by them doing that, it puts his life at risk and his family's life, too. He says, I don't want to see anybody go through this and have to deal with this, what I went through. And I want to hold them accountable for what they did to me. And there's no comment from Whoopi Goldberg. But yeah, he wants some blood, which is, in this case, money, you know what I mean? And it's not just about the money, he says, it's just about, the point is, if they do this to me, they're going to do this to somebody else, you know what I mean? And the media, they try to educate me on accountability. I don't know when they're going to play that CNN piece, but I was on CNN, and I was like 2 hours I was in the studio for, and they were talking about Sandy Hook and everything, and it's like, oh, you people should be held accountable because you spread lies about Sandy Hook. I said, I didn't spread lies about nothing. And it's like the AR-15 was never used in that shooting, okay? And you people suing Remington, you're suing Alex Jones, you're suing everybody. Try to sue me, what are you going to get? Seriously, you know what I mean? Because we're not allowed to ask questions. So Sandy Hook parents get to go sue everybody they want. No, I don't. I could care less what the hell they think. I really don't. Yeah, do I? I mean, I sad about the deaths of the kids. Absolutely. But don't tell me, okay, I can't say what I want. I have a right to question anything the hell I want. There's not a damn thing you and your corrupt courts are going to do about that either. And they're saying, well, we should be held accountable. I'm like, well, let's stop for a minute, right? Us asking questions didn't get those kids killed. A couple parents got harassed, whatever. It's nothing to do with us. But our questions didn't get those kids killed. However, you want accountability. What about you in the mainstream media, huh? Promoting lies about weapons of mass destruction. That never happened in Iraq. You're promoting lies about the babies in the incubators and everything else that help promote to go to war in Iraq. That had nothing to do with 9/11, by the way. Then all the thousands of people that you killed innocently, you know what I mean, with these your propaganda. Our troops dying, killing other people, yeah, all that needless death. What about your accountability for that? What about your accountability now? Lying about the whole entire Ukraine-Russian crisis. Lying about it. Working with the Biden administration to put troops on the ground over there to go kill innocent people on both sides. Where's your accountability, mainstream media? But yeah, you sit there and go after these poor kids that were defending themselves. Well, he's a teenager at the time, not a kid. Poor kid, guy here defending himself, and you run him through the mud. Heck, you know what? Maybe I should sue too, because they ran my name through the mud after the Boston Marathon bombing. They ran my name through the mud after Sandy Hook, and they're still doing it to this day. Every year, literally, it's been 10 years now, that the mainstream media uses my name and they smear it constantly. Maybe I should start suing them. You know what I mean? And maybe, well, you know what? How's this? Maybe I should sue Sandy Hook people for infringing on my Second Amendment rights. Maybe I should do that. If they want to play lawsuits and all that, maybe we should start suing them people. How's that sound? Then they come out and say, oh, the death of the kids. Don't give me the death of the kids crap, okay? That had nothing to do with any of us, Alex Jones or Remington and that. That AR-15 was never used in the shooting. You know what I mean? It's all about attacking Second Amendment rights. That's all it's about. And, so now they're all, the panties are in a bunch because Kyle Rittenhouse is now suing and holding the media accountable. And I hope he sues the pants off these people. Hope this kid becomes a billionaire off you clowns. I really do. Especially that trash bag of LeBron James. Oh, I'm the king. Oh, I'm the king. You ain't no Michael Jordan, buddy. Nothing even comparison to Michael Jordan. You're a wannabe. That's what you are. Half the clowns in the NBA, all drugged up and everything else. Good for you, Kyle. I hope you sue the pants off them. So, sticker shock. Gas climbs over $6 a gallon in Los Angeles. Imagine that. Pulling up to the pump. And a few customers of California were in shock for this week as gas prices soared upward. $6 in downtown Los Angeles. Wow. But they blame it on the Ukraine crisis. The crisis in Ukraine could push gallons of gas up to that. What the hell has Ukraine got to do at all? We got gas lines here. Open the pipelines back up. They did that purposely to collapse our economy. That's what they're doing. It's part of the Great Reset. It really is. And, we already showed that video last week. But, they're using the whole crisis to push us. The whole Ukrainian crisis to push this stuff, yeah. And what a mess our country is in. Trump blasts Biden over Russia-Ukraine quagmire and high oil prices. And Trump wrote the tense situation causing an increase in oil prices could have been avoided had he not been removed from power. So, former President Donald Trump slammed Biden administration over its Russian-Ukraine debacle, certain relations with the Soviet Union nation were much better under his watch. And I have to side with Trump on this one. It was. Putin loved Trump, you know what I mean? And they had no intentions of going to war with anybody, you know what I mean? But, because this dingbat here, this cockroach in the middle, this reptilian there, he's causing all this stuff. Because they made it very clear when Hillary was running for president. You know, when I say they, they're all part of the same group. Hillary, Biden, all these people. They made it very clear that they're going to go to war with Russia. That was her primary objective. We already knew second he got sworn in that we're going to go to war with Russia. Well, we already knew that. That's their goal. And nobody's ever saying Russia's perfect either. They're not perfect at all. Trust me when I tell you. But in this case, it's NATO who are the ones the enemy. And yeah, war is ugly. People got to die. Let's, face it. That's what it is. War is ugly. But yeah, nobody mentions at all the thousands of innocent people a year killed by our CIA drones. Nope. You just keep quiet about that. Don't say nothing about the CIA drones killing people all over the world. Literally, all over the world, people killed by our drones. Innocent people. Oops, we're sorry. We thought they were Al Qaeda member. Oops, we're sorry. We thought they were a member of ISIS. Oh, we're sorry. Oh, man, we just killed 13 women, 26 kids. We're sorry. We thought it was an ISIS member in that house. No accountability. In a statement released by the Save America PAC, Trump wrote the tense situation that leading to an increase in oil prices could have been avoided had he been removed from power. If that's true, I don't know. But I know what is true is because now we have to rely on foreign oil. Yeah, it could cause a disturbance and, a delay of getting fuel here. But the thing is, we got our own fuel. We don't need their fuel. We got our own stuff. We got enough in our own oil reserves the last 200 years, or oil in North America. At least. But they want us to believe, oh, yeah, because the whole, it's all garbage. It really is. There was a movie out years ago, they put a lot of truth in the movie, you know what I mean? And showing how the oil companies work. They'll use any crisis at all, that has nothing at all to do with them, to use it to jack the prices of gas and oil. It's all propaganda, plain and simple. Now, former President Trump, we all know we were paying $2 under a gallon when he was president. That was like a year ago. Now it's like down the street here, it's $3.60 for a gallon of gas. A gallon of gas, $3.50, some $3.60, right? Here in Rhode Island. Over a year ago, whatever the case, it was $2, $1.98, $2 a gallon. So no, you say save America, vote for President Donald Trump. No, the only way you can save America in this world is Jesus Christ. Yeah, I might support Trump on a lot of stuff, and I do, and of course I vote for him any day over Biden. But there's a lot of stuff I don't like about him either. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing. But the only person who's going to save, I can't even save America. You know what I mean? Much as I trust myself and all that, no. The only person who's going to save this world is Jesus Christ. And people in the Trump movement need to understand that. Yeah, could God use a president to save things? Absolutely. Absolutely does all the time. Use a leader or something to save something temporary, whatever the case. He does that all the time. Could he use Trump to bring things back down again until God lets... Because, he does use things like that and people like that to keep things at bay until he takes the restrainer off the earth. Then all hell breaks loose. He uses all of us to do these things, you know what I mean? So could God use Trump to do that again? I'm not saying he can't. I don't know. But the whole thing is you can't put your faith and trust in a human being. The faith and trust must be to Jesus Christ, plain and simple. Not the cosmic Jesus, the New Age Jesus, or the Christ consciousness. No, the actual being, the Son of God, the Messiah, the Lamb of God, the Son of Man, Jesus Christ, Yeshua Messiah. Not Donald J. Trump, not President Joe Biden, not anybody, not even Dan Bidondi, okay? Nobody can save this planet, this world, but Jesus Christ himself. And that's written in Scripture. And not Q especially, as people still peddling that Q crap, oh man, I want to puke. Nobody's going to save this world but God, plain and simple. Get over yourselves. So, I'm trying to load these... articles from Russia today. For some reason, it's not working. Oh, here we go. All right, it is working. So Trump praises Putin. Former U.S. President ripped Biden's handling of Ukraine crisis, calling Russia Donbass move genius. Donbass, that's Donbass. So not dumbass, but Donbass. Yeah, Biden is a dumbass. But yeah. Anyway, so former President Trump has praised Russia's Vladimir Putin for his strategy eastern Ukraine, arguing that the Russian leader outmaneuvered Joe Biden by declaring the breakaway republics undone task. In these other countries, I can't pronounce them, whatever. So I went on yesterday, and there was a televised screen, and I said, "This is genius," Trump told radio host Buck Sexton in an interview on Tuesday. Putin declared a big portion of Ukraine, and Putin declares it as independent. So anyway, long story short, I'm not going to read all through that. Trump praises Putin because he knows, NATO's the enemy. And what's going on in Ukraine, no, it's not good. And like I said, war is filthy. War is ugly, it's dirty. Regardless, innocent people die in war. It doesn't matter if it's good causes or bad causes. But, NATO is the enemies there. Nobody else. Double that one. So U.S. cancels talks with Russia, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken has canceled a planned meeting with Russia Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. So they were supposed to meet, and U.S. canceled the meeting between these two people and planned for Thursday in Geneva, citing what would be a Russian invasion of Ukraine through recognition of two rebel regions. So, yeah. And now that we see the invasion is beginning in Russia has made clear its wholesale rejection diplomacy, it does not make sense to go forward with the meeting at this time, Blinken said. Well, that doesn't make no sense. If now is the time more than ever you'd want to meet them. Because here's the thing, there's no intentions to make peace. The Biden administration knows that. They don't have no intentions to make peace at all. None. They want war. They're going to provoke war, too. So Canada sends troops to Russia border, and Ottawa's follows the U.S.-led with sanctions against Russia and deployment for more soldiers to Lviv. So Justin Trudeau, and people just need to put these things together, man. You got Biden and Trudeau sending troops against Russia at the borders. Two biggest socialist, communist scumbags in the world. So it's got to tell you one thing, you know what I mean? Their goal is to take Russia out. That's the globalist goal. They want to take over Russia, and then once they take Russia over, their next is Iran. Make no mistake about it, that's their goal. Because, Iran's certainly not a good country. We don't agree with their leadership, but Russia are the only ones who don't play ball games all the time with the globalists, you know what I mean? So they don't like that. They want full control of everything. And, this is crazy. And in all this stuff going on, we're going to see Damascus. I really believe, and I could be wrong, hope I'm wrong, but we're going to see the destruction of Damascus. How it ties into this, we don't know. And then you ask this question, how does our gas prices tie into Russia? They don't. So it's crazy. And Damascus is what the prophecy of Daniel the prophet talked about, and Jesus recited too. It's supposed to be annihilated, plain and simple. And the only thing could do that is a nuclear bomb. So, and tension's always hot over in Syria, in Damascus there. So, it's all connected, though. You know what I mean? And they're going to start dropping nukes. That's what's going to go on. Let me just cover that. So, Epic Remix deleted by Twitter. So, we got to talk about Klaus Schwab because he's one of the masterminds behind all this stuff going on. All the wars, he's one of the masterminds behind it. The gas prices, the food prices, all that's from these people. They're the ones who are orchestrating it all. Him, George Soros, at the time David Rockefeller, he's dead now. But these people are masterminding all this stuff. And it's a powerful remix reported, been deleted from Twitter, exposing plans of the Great Reset agenda from the World Economic Forum.
The game-changing nootropic is now back in stock at InfoWarsStore.com. You need to experience Brain Force Ultra for yourself.
The young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet, are actually young nobles of the World Economic Forum. We penetrate the cabinets. The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us. We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? Take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset. So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
There is only one way this pandemic is going to go. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
The next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner, and it is the climate crisis.
Anything of real quality.
Yeah, unbelievable. It really is. And so, yeah, that's the gist of it. The Great Reset. And that's the leftist way of pushing the New World Order. Now, the right way of pushing the New World Order is disguised with good stuff. Disguised as, things that seem to be pro-Christian, things that seem to be pro-guns, pro-rights and everything else, and pro-life and all that. Yeah, that's all good stuff, absolutely. But they use that as a disguised hide. Because the thing is, the left openly tell you what they're going to do. We're coming after your rights. We're coming after you. We're coming after the family. We're coming after everything, the Constitution. And we're going to push a global government. The right, yeah, they don't do it that way. They come at you and say, we support your rights. But in the backside, they're taking your rights. And they slowly move you, trick you into the New World Order. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's both the same sides. Neither side is for you, okay? Republicans, Democrats are on the top. And yeah, are there good Republicans? Are there good Democrats? Absolutely. There are great people in the Democratic and Republican Party. But the parties were designed for one thing, is to destroy America. To divide this country politically, and they do it racially now, religiously and everything else. And that's what they're designed to do. And the Great Reset is part of that. You know what I mean? That's this is the leftist view of the New World Order. Because you got to imagine, right? You got cliques, you know what I mean? Like organizations, like cliques that work for the same globals, right? So they want to push it their way. They want to push it their way, you know what I mean? And that's how the right and left do. They both want to push the same agenda, but they come at it different ways. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. They have different ways and philosophies to push it, but ultimately it's the same thing. There's no different from the other. And that's what they've been doing for years and years and years and decades and hundreds, since the beginning. You know what I mean? And that's what George Washington's seen, too. You know what I mean? If you actually read a lot of his stuff, man, he's seen his stuff happening. That's why he strictly told people, stay the hell away from political parties, stay away from central banks, stay away from alliances with other countries and all that, because he knew, because the stuff was already going on in Europe before this nation was founded. That's how they took over the Rothschild. That's how they took over half of Europe. Because he's seen that what was going on. You know what I mean? And, a lot of the founding fathers did too. They seen what was going on, and that's why they had a different vision for this country. Like we say all the time, a lot of the founding fathers, some of them were, into the occult, some went to secret societies and all that stuff, and some were Christians, you know what I mean? But collectively, they put together, besides the Bible, the second most best doctrine, the rules, I say, besides the 10 Commandments, okay? The 10 Amendments, which the Bill of Rights, is the second best system that this world's ever seen, you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of history that's just been diluted or just dropped or whatever, and it's purposely done, you know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. And they've been attacking us for years, getting into the religious systems and corrupt them from within. It used to be Puritans and Christians in this country. Just 98% of the country is Puritan Christian, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it became from one Christian religion to 40,000 Christian religions, and they did that purposely to divide the people. And none of them follow the Bible anymore. You know what I mean? They'll cherry pick from the Bible and push their ways. But yeah, this is what it's all about, guys. It's the Great Reset right now. While they're in charge, the leftists are in charge, they're going to push their version of it. So if the right comes in to be the saviors, and that's probably what's most likely going to happen, they'll come in, save the day, just in the nick of time, just to fool everybody, and without everybody's like kicks their feet up. Oh, when Trump got in, everybody threw their feet up on the table. Oh, this is great. We can relax now. Boom! Because they get hit overnight. Because they let that guard down. You know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of people do that. A lot of patriots out there did that. I said, guys, don't let your guard down. Doesn't matter who's in power. You know what I mean? You can't let your guard down. Oh, no, he's got to fix everything. He's draining the swamp. Put their feet up on the recliner. Oh, yeah. Then all of a sudden, overnight, boom. Now look where we are. Plain and simple. So guys, everybody's asking, what could possibly happen next? We got war, the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. Well, aliens, you know what I mean? There's been a lot of reports of people seeing crafts. I mean, I forgot to put those up too, man. I think I was going to put them up Friday, but it's just been all over the place lately. And a lot of so-called UFO sightings and everything else. And so what does the Bible say about these things? Well, I bring these up a lot. And there's a couple verses from the Bible here. Revelation chapter 16. And this is something to come very soon, because it talks about when the great river Euphrates dries up. Now, if you haven't checked the news already, the river Euphrates is already well dried up. Okay, there's still water there, but it's massively drying up. So this is in the near future when the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and the water was dried up, so that the kings from the east might be prepared. And they saw 3 unclean spirits coming out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, for they were spirits of demons, performing signs which go out to the kings of the earth and to the whole world, and gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. And it's called Armageddon. So what does this all mean? 3 unclean spirits look like frogs. People think they're reptilians or whatever the case, and no, they're not from other planets. They're unclean spirits. And out of the mouth of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet, which means through the authority, they're going to declare to the world that we're not alone in the universe. As you see the UN and the Vatican and all these people talking about, there's possible... they're admitting, even the Pentagon admitting that the existence of UFOs is real. You know what I mean? And they're all admitting it's all real now, and we're not alone and all that. So they're going to greet these 3 unclean spirits look like frogs to the world. And what this means is out of the mouth of the dragon. Who's the dragon in the Bible? It's Satan. The beast is the false prophet and the Antichrist, which I truly believe will be Pope Francis. So basically they're going to come on TV, and the false prophet is going to come on TV and tell the whole world, and he's going to have the authority and power to do that through Satan and the Antichrist, and tell the whole world, listen, we're not alone in the universe. And it talks about they're going to gather the world together for this great battle of God Almighty, and that's Armageddon. The whole world's armies, they're going to be ready. So because they know Jesus is going to come, you know what I mean, and they're going to be ready for him. Sorry, and yeah, it's not going to turn out too good. So this is a message to people out there too. I don't care if it's Putin's army, don't care if it's Ukraine's army, the United States' army, China's army. All your armies ain't going to do jack. Sorry, I almost said the S word. Jack crap. Okay. To when Jesus returns, because our general's coming, our army's coming, the army of the remnant. You know what I mean? They're coming. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you have even the United States' army. The woke army we call them now. It's pathetic. But yeah, China's army. It doesn't matter what army you have. All the world's armies combined in the world. Doesn't matter. They're all going to be there too. By the way, all of them. United States still. Don't think anything less. The United States military will be there too, to wait for the return. All right, and yeah, and our army coming to the clouds, okay, is be led by Jesus with his angels, legions of angels. Yeah, none of the armies and military tanks and planes and bombs ain't gonna do jack crap to him. You know what I mean? When Jesus returns, so they could take that out of their minds. All the military's world's forces and all that ain't gonna do jack. Plain and simple. And that's, the great deception really is. And when aliens invade the earth, just be aware that they're actually fallen angel beings passed off as aliens to deceive the world by using great lion signs and wonders into accepting the New World Order and the Antichrist as their true God. And even Aleister Crowley, I forgot to put that in there, the quote from Aleister Crowley years ago, back in 1900s, they would, the occultists would come out to say that these things here, they're always known as demons and fallen angels and unclean spirits. They said they're going to be rebranded as something else, which is aliens and UFOs. And it's all part of a great deception. So yeah, we have Transformers, Shapeshifters, ancient demons, unclean spirits. The world covers up us as aliens and UFOs, ghosts, Bigfoot, Mothman, and more. So we own the media, the government, and all secret societies. We possess all your world leaders. We deceive you by proclaiming peace and love, but really we come in the name of Satan and will do whatever it takes to blind you from the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that can't be any further from the truth. That's their agenda, guys. And that's those 3 unclean spirits that look like frogs that are going to come to the world. And they're going to deceive so many people. That's the gist of it here. And even back in, when Jude 1:7 was talking about it, even Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them, and like, man, and giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh. This goes, I mean, that you could go all through the scripture and you'll see about what, aliens, UFOs. It's not just a scripture. You could take all ancient history, all of it. Not the one you learn in school. I'm talking about real ancient history and all that, that talk about beings, giants, and everything else, they perceive from other planets, whatever, that helped them build their civilizations and all that. Yeah. And they present to be as creators and everything else. No, they're fallen angels. They're unclean spirits. So in this time here, they talk about how they went after strange flesh, having sex with these beings. And they were given over to fornication, and after going after strange flesh and set forth an example, suffering the vengeance of the eternal fire. And that's too long after God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And strange flesh is exactly what it is. And if you go to the book of Genesis chapter 6, it talks about these things. And it's not figuratively. This is real actual. Because a lot of churches just overlook this and say, oh, no. It's just figuratively speaking. Don't mind, angels can't have sex. That's what they tell people. It's just figurative. No, this is, these pastors that tell you that, they're idiots. Okay, plain and simple. This is what it says. It came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, and the sons of God, these are the fallen angels, the sons of God, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them as wives in which they chose. And if you read the book of Enoch, chapter 6, it says the same word for word, almost verbatim, of this incident. Then it goes on to actually give you the full details of what they were doing. They swore upon the oath, all these 200 fallen angels that descended upon Mount Hermon. Right, they all swore an oath, an affirmation, and mutual implications to take an oath to have sex with these women on the earth. And to, excuse the language because it's in the Bible, it sounds sexually perverted, but it's not, but to come into them, to ejaculate into the woman and have children with them. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with the man, for he is also flesh. Yet his days will be limited to 120 years. But there were giants on the earth in those days, and also after that. When the sons of men, now the angels right here, the sons of men came into the daughters of men. Ejaculate into them. Okay, that's exactly what it's saying. The sons of men came into the daughters of men. They had sex with the woman, came into them, and they became pregnant, and they bore children. And these same became mighty men, which are old men of renown. Some were giants, some had superhuman abilities. That's where the Greek mythology comes in, where the Greeks actually thought these children were demigods, and their fathers were gods. The fallen angels, they thought they were gods, and their children were demigods. Half human, which is not far from the truth, but they, the fathers were fallen angels, not gods. So there's nothing mythical about Greek mythology. I don't even know why they call it mythology, because it's real, except for the point they weren't gods. Nothing fake about Greek mythology at all. And it makes you wonder why they even teach in school if it's mythology. It's widely taught in the schools. You know why they do that? Because they purposely put that into your head, because when these things come back, all right, when the abysses open up and all these things come back, people are going to be like, oh yeah, I guess they were gods. And it's all deception. That's all it is. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of thoughts in the heart was only continual evil, And he repented that he made man on the earth and grieved his heart, and we know what happened after. And check this out, right? It says, but God found grace in Noah's eyes, right? And these are the generations of Noah. And check this out. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and he walked with God. What does perfect in your generations mean? Now, we all know there was nobody perfect but Jesus. He's not saying Noah was perfect. Noah sinned, but he repented for it and everything. Perfect in his generations, his genome, that's what that means. His DNA, his bloodline. His bloodline is pure from the back of days of, from Adam, I'm sorry. But he was Noah, and he was the ninth, I believe, the ninth or 10th from Adam. Because his great-grandfather Enoch was the 7th from Adam. So right here it says the earth was corrupt before, and all flesh was corrupt. And the earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. So these fallen angels, and even their children, the Nephilim, the Watchers, whatever you want to call them, and some call them these people aliens and everything else, they were having sex with anything that walked. Animals, people, didn't matter. Themselves, they killed themselves. They were eating humans. It was horrible what was going on. And they're also not just a sex part, but genetically mutating things. Like today we have, right, this genetic alterations, you clone and all. Everybody thinks this is all new. No. They were doing that stuff back then. Because if you actually go into the book of Matthew, chapter 24, when the disciples, this is after Jesus transfigured into the Spirit, after his crucifixion. And they asked him, when will you return? And, when he's ascended off of Mount Olive. So they asked him, when you going to return? And so Jesus says, as the days of Noah, so shall it be in the latter days. So what we're seeing now, guys, is nothing new under the sun, as the Bible says. This all happened in the days of Noah. Grid technology, signal technology, genetic mutation, and splicing of genes, all that stuff was going on back then. And people go, oh, it's impossible, they didn't have the technology. Don't tell us it's impossible, because they had more technology then, than we do today. And the thing is, the technology we have today, all the stuff, touchscreen and everything, all this, you think it came from the mind of a man? No. These technologies were given to us by these beings. That's why I always say I love using their weapons against them. It's great, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is what they are. So I want to let people know what these so-called aliens are. They're not aliens, you know what I mean? They're unclean spirits, plain and simple. That's exactly what they are. So don't be deceived, because it's going to be part of the great deception. You know how many people, sadly, so many people are going to take the Bible and toss it. Because if you go into a regular church to ask a pastor, say, oh, no, none of that's real. And it's just an illusion by the elite and all that stuff. I mean, they want to say the illusion by the Satan. No, stuff was real. You know what I mean? They won't even acknowledge, like Revelation chapter 16 I just told you, right? They won't even acknowledge it. I haven't been to one Bible prophecy conference ever in the mainstream churches that even remotely talked about that. None. None of that talked about any of this stuff. You know what I mean? It's horrible. It really is. And it's all in here. And a lot of Christians are going to take the Bible. When these things come, and they are. I mean, they're all over the place now. You're seeing freaking huge sources in the middle of the sky. Stuff out of the Independence Day or whatever the case, happening across this world. And people are just in awe. You know what I mean? And there's no, hiding no more. They're coming out everywhere. They're making themselves known. All in the nick of time for all the stuff going on, the wars and all that. See how it just smoothly flows with the prophecies of Revelation. See how it does? It's amazing. And also, Daniel and prophecies Jesus gave in Matthew and all that. It's amazing. It's all right here. You know what I mean? And so when this stuff comes to pass, don't be disturbed by it. Like all the stuff we talked about today, don't be disturbed by it. You should be not welcome it, but yeah, kind of welcome it, but not really. It's hard to explain, but don't be afraid by it. Just say, you know what, bring it. Because regardless of what's going on, guys, don't be disturbed by it, because our general, our king, our Lord and Savior is coming soon. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what Russia could do. It doesn't matter what the United States could do. It doesn't matter what China and North Korea and all these other people could do, right? It doesn't matter what weapons they have. Even every nuclear bomb in the world is not going to even dent Jesus Christ when he returns. Make that very clear, So thank you guys in the chat room here. I just want to send a shout out to everybody out there. Anne Marie, I know you're old enough to be my mom. She calls in a lot. That's awesome. I got to do calls in again. This Friday we're going to do calls in, so I would love to hear from y'all. So, Marky Mark, Salt Light, and Brendan. Who else is here? DM Milkowski Light. I hope I pronounced that right. Melissa, Timothy, Don't Be a Puppet. I don't know if, Valerie, Tim Morgan, and Uncle Obvious. Thank you guys for moderating the chat. And Marky and everybody else. BJ, Charlie, Foxtrot, and Marky Mark, and who else? Timothy. But yeah, guys, thank you all for joining us tonight, and I just want to give you all a shout out and thank you so much. And if you guys don't mind, just put in the chat room where you guys are from, just a state if you want, because I like to just keep an eye on where we're reaching. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. We know we got people from Australia, people from Canada, people from different countries that even Maui and all that tune into the show. It's pretty cool. So so guys, trust in the plan. Only plan in that is the Bible, guys. It's the way we always talk about. Don't believe in let every man be a liar and reproof them with the Bible. Even me. You know what I mean? So, guys, we got PayPal, Venmo, and CashApp. 3 different ways to support this operation financially. And again, like I said at the beginning of the show, man, halfway through the show, the break. The best you could do is pray. Okay, number 1, okay? Pray. Second is get this information out to other people. And if you want to take some of the stuff or all of it, put it on your own channel, whatever, do what you want. You don't need my permission. Just do it. You know what I mean? And number 3, because it costs a lot of money to do all this. So that's why we have a fundraiser here. PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. And it's only a matter of time before they decide to shut independent shows down. It's sickening. It really is. They're attacking everybody. And we've been massively attacked on this channel. And it's sickening. PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. The links are in the description. So any amount, $1, whatever, even 50 cents, whatever, whatever, the Lord tells you, plain and simple. Pray about it for us. So tomorrow night after the news, we're going to do the news on Rumble, and we're coming back on here, 1 a.m. Eastern. And if you're not subscribed to my Rumble channel, guys, please, in the description, or just go to Rumble, right, and type in Truth Radio Show or Dan Bidondi. My channel will pop up. Subscribe to that. Become a member yourself of Rumble, and it's going to be a good show, man. And we're going to be back on this channel, provided that YouTube don't shut us down, but because we're on our last string right now. So we'll be back on this channel, Mormonism in SRA in the secret tunnels, cultic tunnels, exposed from within. So it's going to be with Jocelyn and her husband, and they're going to reveal some heavy stuff that goes on in the Mormon temple, under the Mormon temple as well. And, Mormon temples across the world. Sick, barbaric stuff, man. Wow. I thought I knew a lot about Mormonism, but wow. Yeah, this is going to be a very eye-opening show. This is something you need to... You're probably not even going to need coffee to stay awake for this one, because this stuff's going to keep you awake. Crazy. So, guys, help support our brothers over at NICE TV, and check out The Cutting Edge tomorrow morning, and also on his Rumble channel, because he's suspended right now from YouTube. And tomorrow night, you got FOJCRadio, the Administration, my shows, and the Midnight Ride on Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern, and the Midnight Ride Saturday. So we got a long list of shows coming up starting tomorrow morning, going all the way into Saturday night. So it's pretty cool. So check the listings, guys, and get your free free month free. Yeah, free month free. Yeah, 1 month free on nystv.org, and promo code DanTheMan, lowercase one word. So basically, you get thousands of videos on demand. And I'm telling you, wow, the best of spiritual warfare and everything else. Documentaries exposing sexual ritual abuse and everything. All kinds of cool stuff, man. So thank you to our sponsors, JoshWattsLeather.com and CascadiaCutlery.com. And let me promote this, guys. And forgot to do this during the break. So if you go to CascadiaCutlery.com, and this also helps our show out too, guys. So they got all kinds of benchmade knives and survival gear, and even Joshua Watts products as well. So all kinds of cool stuff, man. Survival gear and all that. So what they're doing is helping raise the money for my show here. And it's called the Truth Radio Show Beginner's Excursion Bag. So we go on the website, CascadiaCutlery.com. You click here, and you get all this here. Everything you see here for $150, and $150 goes straight to me. It's 100% proceeds go to me for my show here. And what you do is literally making a donation, and you get all this. The 2 knives here, both knives are worth over $150 on their own. So you get all this stuff here, all in this one bag, and there's only one of these things available. So I would act on it quick if you were thinking about it, because once it's gone, it's gone. You know what I mean? And you're getting a huge bundle deal with all this stuff, yeah. And there's all the descriptions of everything, yeah. So if you want to check it out on the website, the links are in the description too. So I just wanted to promote that, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. We will see you tomorrow, God willing. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Shalom. And remember, if you do not see the show on here, guys, the news, just go to our Rumble. I'm sorry, the Spiritual Warfare Show. Just go to TruthRadioShow.com. We'll have the links for everything. You know what I mean? So to save all the confusion, go to TruthRadioShow.com. And right on the page, we're going to have the links for the new show and the link for the Spiritual Warfare Show. So you can't miss it. You know what I mean? Because we don't know if YouTube's going to suspend us. Who knows? I mean, what they do anymore. So if, regardless what happens, we're going to have the show anyway. If it's going to be on here or on Rumble or on Breakdown, whatever the case, we're going to have a show. So go to TruthRadioShow.com, and there's all the listens for the show. So God bless, shalom, and you are the resistance. Declaring war on the New World Order. TruthRadioShow.com. It is fire. Defending liberty in the spirit of 1776. It's Dan Bidondi on TruthRadioShow.com.